You suck.
Bro, we got this. Yo, y'all pussy rematch that shit. Y'all barely won.
God,
Nine
y'all barely
ten.
won. We caught up to you.
Y'all pussy. Y'all pussy. Y'all pussy. Y'all rematch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all trash. Y'all fucking dog shit, bro. I'll shit on y'all right now. Come on. Stop being scared.
Who is you? But one for me. Add me. One for me right now.
He's just scared, bro. Come on. Come on. Come on. He's just push.
Hey, add me. I want to invite y'all to the party. We were working one.
Alright.
Yeah, you want one.
Yo.
Hey, invite him.
Yo, y'all mad fucking pussy for not rematching, bro. Y'all no for real, no funny shit, bro. Y'all know y'all gonna lose.
Up in there.
Come on.
Yo, Pink. Pink up in there. Up in.
Come on.
Up in.
He's just pussy. Pussy ass. Bro, you're fucking ass. I don't know why you're using this emo. Like, I won't shit on you. You fucking suck. Too fucking scared of fucking rematch, though. Ah, too scared of rematch, though. I'm winning. Yeah, I fuck these guys, yo. They too pussy. They know they're not gonna win. Nah, I already love fuck that shit. They pussy. Christian Diorio. I'm up in all the stores. Alright, so what you wanna do? Uh, why don't we just do a 1v1 map? Or like 1v1 piece control or some shit like that.
You know. What is OG Cup? The OG Cup say. In that section.
I
It's
am a real. That's the best theme song ever.
crazy.
I
She up
am
there
a
too.
real man. Fight for the That song is great.
He didn't even know it was Hulk Hogan's song. He's like, yo, this is the greatest song ever.
You gotta be a man in a house. My friend, you hurt my pride.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, bro, I can hear you.
I'm finna get on. I'm finna get on keyboard and mouse, so I ain't gonna be as good. I'm better on controller though.
I can't hear you. Wait, say that again?
I'm finna get on keyboard and mouse, but I'm trash on keyboard and mouse. But I'm better on controller.
This goes out to all you finance folks. There's a lot of pressure to
But
get
it's not gonna play controller.
the best finance leaders focus on more than Rex knows you want to drive, change the game, and ultimately win. And that's exactly what Rex will give you. They offer the world's smartest corporate card, banking, expense management, and travel, all on one AI-powered platform. Rex unlocks your peak performance at every stage of growth. Startups see that Brex's high card limits and high yield banking extend their runway. And larger companies love that Brex allows them to control spend before it happens. Get every dollar to the right place and automate finance busy. More than 30,000 companies for make every dollar count for them. Get the modern finance platform that works as hard as you do at brex.com/grow. I can tell you that there's no more iconic moment in wrestling than Hogan slamming Andre the Giant at the Silver. I can't tell you how many times I saw that body slam used as fuel in the last few days on the news covering Hogan's death. Not only was it not the first time that Andre was ever slammed, it wasn't even the first time that Hogan had ever slammed Andre. But it doesn't matter, because that's the moment that people remember. Wrestling is about moments. And the wrestling purists, they may not like hearing that. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's true. AJ Styles has said it. Kevin Owens has said it. It's not that the matches don't matter, or that some of those matches won't be remembered, but what they're remembered for are the moments. If there is one. And with more wrestling on TV now than before, as far as I can remember, there's more wrestling on television now than ever. In all the years that I've been a fan, there's so much content now. The matches need less. Oh my God! If they don't stand out. Hogan had more of those moments than most. Slamming Andre just happens to be the most iconic. The Mega Powers. That was a big deal. I cannot put into words how big of a deal that was to a young fan back then. When Hogan and Savage they came together for that match at the end of '87 into '88, right on into the beginning of '89. And the night that Savage attacked Hogan on NBC is one of my fondest wrestling. I remember watching that live and thinking, oh my God, they're backstage. They're right in the back. Like, this is so cool. But we never got to see the backstage area. We take all this shit for granted now. We can see it. They pulled the curtain so far back, it's just ridiculous. And the best part of the angle that night was in the back. That, to me, is one of my all-time standout wrestling matches. WrestleMania 6. Another one. I cannot tell you how big of a deal that was. I was a Hogan fan. I had friends that were more Ultimate Warrior fans. The David face in WrestleMania main event. Winner take all. Champion against champion, title for title. It's the biggest thing ever. And here's another one of those moments. Hogan missing the leg drop. Warrior Queen. Hogan doing the kick out at 3.1. Of course. But that's another one that's on my list. That was Vince McMahon trying to be the next Hulk Hogan, which he tried many times over the years, and they all failed. I mean, hell, he thought he had the next Hogan in Tom McGee. How'd that work out? He tried it with Warrior. It failed. He tried it later on with Lex Luger, the latest All-American hero, and it failed. It just wasn't the thing. Hogan was the biggest box office draw for this company, so much so that in those days, they'd be running A, B, C, sometimes D crew, any given night, in different cities, especially back then when it was even age. Especially wrestling in those hard rings back then. If they were running 3 different cities in the same day, you wanted to be on the A crew with Hogan, because you knew that you were getting a bigger payday. Even if you were a wrestler and didn't like Hogan, you wanted him on the show with you. You wanted to be on the show with him because it's going to be a bigger house. They'd get sell out. And you were probably making more money than you would.
Yo, don't kill me. Don't kill me right quick. Don't kill me. I gotta change my settings.
Did Hogan do everything in his power to make sure that he stayed on top and made the most money? Yes. Of course he did. One of the things he gets ridiculed for is squashing Jesse Ventura's attempt to unionize before WrestleMania 2. For years, Jesse didn't even know who scooped him off to Vince McMahon until he sued Vince for royalties that he was owed. And he had his lawyer ask Vince in a deposition about it.
I'm ready.
Without hesitation, Vince said, Hogan told me. From that day forward, Jesse never looked at Hogan the same way again. But I can just picture Hogan, running to a payphone somewhere, calling Vince and telling him, "You'll never guess what Jesse was trying to do." Which is basically what he did. He's admitted to it publicly. Hogan was his oldest leader. He had no reason to want to be. That's a famous Hogan story. There's lots of them. He didn't even remember the
Tick.
I talked about the Doctors of Oregon project, steroid stuff a lot on the show. First time Bolt's reputation was the PR hit was on the steroids. And so advised the appearance that he made on the Arsenio Hall show, he was supposed to tell the truth about his steroid use. And Vince even said, "Go tell the truth, Terry." And he left the show and the producer thought that that's what he was coming on to do. He lied. And he claimed, well, he had only ever taken steroids, I think, 3 times. All to help heal him. He Vince McMahon were the center of the steroid controversy. His testimony could have helped us to stand behind bars. This was after he had already left the company. He had just signed a deal to join WCW. And he was on the outs with them. They were not on great terms. He had no reason to lie for Vince McMahon other than whatever Vince's lawyers were planning on silly his way. They probably just dirty him up real good. But he pulled a swerve. He swerved the prosecutors like he had a corporate TV show. And he ended up being a bigger witness for Vince than he was for the government. And their case fell apart. I mean, they might have fallen apart regardless. And so Vince was dead. And Hogan went off to WCW. He gave him the ticker tape parade when he signed. By this point, for me, Hogan was very much he was passe for a while, even before that. Because the Hulkamania stuff had worn out of trouble. He was time to create some stuff. Hogan went to WCW, and he was doing the same tired shit that he always did, which was still good for WCW business. That's why Eric Bischoff brought him in and paid him all that money. But I could never get into the WCW stuff that he was doing in the Red Bull. It just wasn't the same. And it wasn't until the NWO stuff. Oh my God, that all changed. When Hogan turned heel at that, we talked about Scott and all this stuff. There was no moment bigger. It is still, almost 40 years later, the greatest heel turn of all time. It could not have worked with anyone else. It had to be Hulk Hogan. Plug any other WWF guy in that spot, next to Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Bret Hart, oh my God, Shawn Michaels. If you plug in a WCW guy like Sting or Lex Luger, I think Sting was going to be the third man if Bischoff couldn't convince Hogan to do it, because he was very hesitant at first. With any of those guys, it would not have worked. Hogan was the ultimate WWF. You better read this. WWF star, then the biggest WWF star of them all. So, how was Hogan? That ushered in a period of companies that will never be matched. I don't care. TNA, AEW, it don't matter. Nothing will ever top the rivalry between WWF and WCW. Going head-to-head live every Monday night, never knowing who might jump ship from one week to the next. Show up on the other show. No DVR back then either. No YouTube, no social media to catch clips that you missed. You either had a VCR in the other room or you were fucked. That was it. You had to make a choice. Struggle with real. All these newer fans will never know. Hogan was a big part of that. Hogan was a part of the biggest storyline in WCW history. It's Sting. 18 months. They built that up. Sting in the ramp. Sting didn't say a word. Sting comes out, beats up the NWO, trying to get it Hogan. Hogan gets away. Finally, to get to start it, all for it to go down the way that it did. Was it I've no doubt that Hogan told Nick Patrick to count in after he dropped the leg on Sting. Supposed to get fast count. Why wasn't it a fast count? Because Hulk Hogan told the referee, don't count him. You have to dance around the issue. That's what happened. I think Nick Patrick, if he hasn't outright said it, he sort of alluded to it himself. The referee. He made Sting, Hogan did that night look like an absolute geek by doing that. Now, Sting won. He did go on to win the title that night. Everybody celebrated, but there's a reason WCW never did another buy rate anywhere close to that ever again. But Hogan was still the star attraction. So was Bill Goldberg guy.
There's a lot of
And Hogan, he could see what was going on here.
I don't give a fuck.
They were coming up on this big show at the Georgia Dome. And putting that match on TV, Hogan did the job for it.
Oh my God, it's right.
Right? Not very often. The one I could think of was probably the worst in WCW, right? That was at, I believe, when the start date. About in 96. It ended up being non-title. I'll never forget that. Hogan and Piper, and Hogan was the champion, but they never made any mention of the title match. But you have to know that most fans assumed it would be. And I think Piper was even putting in the Super Bowl thing. And everybody celebrated, and it's like, wait, here's what's done.
They didn't hit me yet, but what are you doing?
So when it finally did, it meant something. That was for Goldberg.
Might know one. You might.
Beating Andre was for Hogan, even though Hogan had already been the champion at that point. And don't make the Andre match. This was Hogan passing the torch to the new guy. I know it's kind of funny to look back on that now and laugh at it, but that's effectively what it was meant to be. Hogan versus Goldberg on Nitro is one of the biggest televised matches in the history. Probably the second biggest of all time. It was the biggest hit. Hogan against Andre on NBC. 30 million people tuned in to see. If that was the peak of Goldberg's career, which it was also the last really big moment of Hulk's WCW run. He never did anything after that rivaled what he did with Sting and Goldberg. He had a shitty exit at Bash at the Beach, and that was it. So he ended up back in WWE in 2002 as a heel, doing an NWO retread. And it was never going to work. It's never going to work as well as it did the first time. It took away what made the NWO work the first time. Right? They were kind of like the invading force back then. Now they were just another heel faction. And then WrestleMania 8.
They can add, oh my God.
He's very disappointed that we were not going to get Stone Cold Steve Austin against Hulk Hogan.
I'm dead.
The two biggest
Oh, you don't got
in the history of WWE. I mean, it just felt like it made all the sense in the world to do that. Now, you could argue why rush into it, right? Hogan had just come back a month before. So don't rush into it, build it up, save it for next year. There's an argument to be made. So with Hogan, at that point, you didn't know how much time you had to do. Going into the big show at Skydome, Toronto, WrestleMania, a lot of people want their Austin and Hogan because they were the stuff. And then it didn't happen. And in hindsight, I'm glad it didn't happen. At least not there, because I don't think it would have been as good as what we got with Bobby Hogan. Build it as an icon against icon. One of my favorite matches of all time. Absolute 5-star. Somebody who loves to assign stars to a match. That's a 5-star match. And it had nothing to do with the holds. The crowd made that match. And they made that moment. See, there's that word again. The moment Hogan kicked out of the rock bottom and he hulked up. Even though he was supposed to be the heel and he had just tried to murder the Rock on TV. Those scenes, they got that harsh camera. The way they rise to their feet.
Bitch. He's running around the party.
No, I didn't. Crowd reaction was.
Oh, man, you suck!
Everything as it's seen
saw
as a decision not to put that match on last.
Damn, bro, GG's.
And what a terrific scene that would have been for Hogan if that
That was some sweaty ass shit, bro.
68,000.
Nah, I'm on keyboard. I don't play keyboard.
Here, bro.
Huh?
Take you to how much is in it?
Oh, wow.
This nigga's
They kept going a few more years.
Yo, you want to tell you I'm Cody
The last
Rhodes
two
on
SummerSlams, you beat Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton. This episode is supported by Brex.
Hey, bro.
Brex Finance teams unlock their banking expense management. All on one AI-powered platform. See like 30,000 companies across every state. Brex.com/grow.
When you started writing nonstop down on paper, it opened up endless possibilities. Ideas could grow beyond the borders of time. Somewhere along the way, we lost sorted by devices made for every purpose. On edge, waiting for mass notification. But what if your technology didn't pull us away from paper? It brought us closer to it.
Alright, come on.
That's not easy. It's the sound of the new Remarkable Paper Pro. Feature. A paper tablet with a true color ink display, gentle retype, and unheard of capability. With digital features for taking notes, saving, and organizing.
You play so weird, bro. It's like, play a game.
Paper is
I
about
don't feel the actually good looking.
at the end. Get your paper tablet at remarkable.com today.
He was supposed to wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania 25, or at least there was an idea at one point. I don't know how far it got. There was at least the idea, if not planned, to do a match. Right, it's the anniversary of WrestleMania, but he had another back surgery. And he had a so it wasn't possible. And then came the run in TNA, where he and Eric Bischoff, they did more harm than good. I remember Dixie Carter at the press conference. At this press conference, I think they had the press conference at that Square. They're at this press conference and she's saying that Hogan was that they need to take TNA to that next level. And you can understand why she would feel that way because this is Hulk Hogan, right? Biggest star in the history of the business. Right? What did she want to do business with? That Rocket ended up crashing back down to earth. Last match Hogan ever wrestled came in TNA.
Oh my gosh, bro. I mean, come on.
The last match people will remember that was televised was against Sting at Bound for Glory. I think that was in 2011. And didn't state that his back was in at the time, honestly.
Yo, don't kill me, don't kill me.
Other than it being in TNA and not in front of a much bigger crowd on a WWE show. It wasn't the worst way for him to go out. He turned at the end. He went from heel to big.
I just said don't kill me. Are you keep not here? Do not kill me, bro.
It was for the last 20 or so years of Hogan's life that he got to go out again. But I can't. Well, what is it? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? That's how a lot of people feel about Hulk Hogan. There's a lot of you know, it's one thing to hear wrestlers tell stories about Hogan playing politics, The Undertaker being upset at him for faking an injury, nearly ruining his career when he was still new to the
No, don't kill me, don't kill me, don't kill me.
Or, you know, that don't work for me.
What you doing, bruh?
I know, dude, I said it, bro.
Niggas over here fucking about to cheat or some shit. Nigga, what you doing?
Alright, come on.
Becky Hogan, Mercedes Hogan, right? That's all wrestling concept. For me, the John Graziano stuff is what really made my blood boil.
I bet.
Really that whole thing. His son Nick was drag racing, under the he was drag racing.
Yo, how you doing for that?
Nick was fine. John ended up with a traumatic brain injury. His memory stopped. And the things that came out on those jailhouse tapes when Nick was
How you miss?
were revolting. They knew the victim. And how he must have been a bad person for God to lay such heavy shit.
I don't know.
You know, and planning a real Halloween TV show for Nick. And if he gets out, talks about how when they die, what Hogan said.
I just laughed so hard too.
Don't bring reincarnation with a couple of black guys. Or Liz eyes, as Hogan said. Army up until the very end. You know, his daughter always seemed like the most well-adjusted one in the family. He hadn't spoken to her dad. He made efforts to reconcile with him. And her husband did. Try to bring them back together after she almost died in childbirth. But it never happened. Her parents were so dysfunctional, she had to spoken. Think about that. And I'm sure she loved her parents very much. But it was so bad, she felt the need to control and cut them out of her life. He never even met his grandchildren. That's sad. That's really sad. It's still her father, and I'm sure she loved him very much. Tough to the marriage. But the elephant in the room is the Gawker. Gawker was a popular website at the time. It came into possession of a leaked sex tape showing Hogan having sex with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. Bubba was a friend of his, very good friend. Hogan claims he didn't know he was doing it. Gawker posted a 2-minute clip from the full video. I think the full video was like half an hour. He had, whatever, he had having sex and then laying in bed and talking and whatever. They posted a 2-minute clip of the full video, and it led to Hogan really Gawker. And he wanted judgment to the tune of something like $130 or $140 million. In the end, I think it was settled for first of all, Gawker went into bankruptcy and they got sold off at the end of Gawker. What a terrible thing that Hulk Hogan was filmed without his consent. Right? That's terrible. You know what was even worse? The things he said in that case. He admitted to being a racist. To a point. Racist to a point. And he threw the N-word around. Right? Not just once or twice. He threw it around. We're not talking like slang. We're talking a hard off. And this was in regards to his daughter dating a black man. And there's no defending. Whether Hogan was wrong or not is not even relevant to what we're talking about here. It got loose. You cannot unring that bell. Like, once the genie is out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. You can't wipe people's memories. It's like in a court case, where this evidence was obtained.
Headshot, nigga. Fuck you.
A poisonous tree, and so therefore it's not
Out the air.
It doesn't work that way.
You get tight, bro. Oh shit, someone trying to snipe
what
me.
he said.
They think they that nigga. I'm
And
that nigga.
WWE fired him and did everything in its power to distance themselves from him because he became. He scrubbed him out of the Hall of Fame for him. Now he's a 2-time Hall of Fame. And deservedly so. He earned it. He went in a second time as part of the NWO a few years ago. So eventually they did bring him back, but the damage that did to his reputation, to his legacy, is irreparable. Especially when there are lots of people who feel he never showed any remorse. And Mark Henry, I remember talking about how that I was Hogan and tried to get him to come into the black colleges and law schools and have an open conversation about things, and Hogan declined. Even when Hogan first returned to the roster of WWE, and he gave a speech to the roster in the back, the message was more, be careful what you say and do because you might be filmed. Don't get caught. As opposed to any real contrition over the things that he said. There were many talents who felt that way. Some who went public. But it was only 2 months ago, Shelton Ben slapped back at Hogan after Hogan got his name wrong. He called him Benjamin Shelton, acting as they had some kind of relation. Said,
No!
Remember that you don't get
Damn it!
receipts called doing politics. That happened a couple of months ago.
7
Let's say
kills.
they did do a very good job of convincing all the that's really sorry. Hogan was a well and he made this up. He was 52 years old. one of the reasons social media has been such a cesspool that today is that people have a very strong opinion about Obi and his legacy and his place in history. So let me just say this. Hulk Hogan's place in history is cemented. Nobody can ever change that. Nobody can ever take that away from you. No matter how hard you try. All the records he broke, all the money he made, nobody can ever take that away from him. He is the most famous pro wrestler of all time. And the most
GG, bro.
successful.
I'm gonna lie, this shit
But
fire.
time has not been kind to
That's
him.
it?
Man who should have retired and gone on to become this great ambassador for the business.
Yeah, people.
So toxic
No,
that
the
he
movie,
had
no.
to
I haven't
be
watched
exiled.
it. I'm
Man
hearing
who,
good
his final
things.
appearance on television. This is the lasting image that fans